Designed a climate control system for the seats I salvaged from a 2016 Mustang to put into my Ford Ranger. I am using BTS 7960 motor drivers and an Arduino, plus some Sane smart relays and Ethernet connections. The seats were damaged from an impact, so I had to sew those up. Was able to grab some upholstery thread from Amazon to use to sew up the seats, both sides. Designed and 3D printed some mounts for the BTS motor drivers using PETG. BTS motor drivers are mounted into their supports. There's one for the seat, one for the back, and there's one of each on both sides for the TEDs. 3D printed a mount for the Arduino Uno enclosure box. Arduino glued to its support base. Sane Smart 2-channel relays and their mount base to control the blowers for the seat and back for each side. Printed supports for the dual Ethernet board and the single Ethernet breakout boards. Supports made for the dual Ethernet breakout board, and also showing the front and back sides. I forgot to show pictures of the single Ethernet breakout boards. The dual breakout board goes on the back of the dash controller. All the components mounted to the base board, the Arduino, the BTS units, the single Ethernet, and the Sane Smart dual relays, all mounted to the baseboard. Passenger seat was the most complex. I had to remove the passenger seat controller and run out the wires, include electrical pinging to bypass this unit. Identified the power and ground for seat motion on both sides to make sure all functions worked, and they did. Modules removed, also showing the thermoelectric device, which is the TED plug for the seat cushion. Dash controller board printed, and I used vinyl printing paper to make the label for it, also showing the dual Ethernet on its mount in the background. Dash climate control panel done. Backside of the dash control panel, I'm using a resistor divider network to control the climate box with analog. Climate control box all wired up and ready to go. Side of the climate control box showing the front of the Arduino and the Ethernet connection. Control box fully assembled with fan for the BTS motor controllers. Main power connector that splits power between the seat motion motors and the climate control box, and this is going to be going to the floor connection. This is the terminal block that interfaces the seat controller with the seat TED devices for seat and back to include the blowers. This is final testing before I button it all up, getting the main power coming in and all the control functions working for motors and climate control on the seat, and they did. Wiring complete and put into split loom for a neat appearance. Terminal block is mounted as well. All things clear, all motion. Driver seat installed, wire looms applied, seat powered up. The red LED represents 12-volt power. Cooling function switched on for low cool. Alright, here's the driver's seat done. I got power through it from a battery charger for right now. I'm going to turn it to cold. Blue LED light comes on showing it cold, and there's 3 settings for low, medium, and high. You can't see this, but this is where the blower blows. Hot air coming out the vent now on the seat, because the the Peltier device that's in there. The cold side is on the other side, which is blowing on the seat cushion that you feel. So hot here means it's cold on the seat. Now I'm turning on hot. And then that just makes the opposite, where it blows cold air and then puts heat on the other side. Same thing on the back.